Welcome back, everyone. So, as you may know, culturally speaking, some cultures are more huggy than others. I felt like perhaps the Latin Americans I've met, people from Southern Europe, often, just as part of their culture, as part of their typical greetings, they go for a hug. Whereas some cultures perhaps are a little more separated in their traditional greetings, thinking about maybe Japan or Northern Europe, I've heard also, not much physical contact when greeting one another. So yeah, it does vary culturally, but also personally. I think, even within the Latin Americans, I'm sure there's plenty of people who refuse to get involved in that culture because they just don't like it, and vice versa. So it's very much a personal choice, but people in New Zealand, or the people who run a particular airport in New Zealand, have noticed that the long hugging goodbye is particularly common, and this is all going on in the drop-off zone where people are being sort of delivered to the airport, and then long and drawn-out hugging sessions are taking place, blocking the drop-off space from other cars. So it's causing a bit of a bottleneck. It's disrupting, the nice, easy flow of people. So they decided to put up signs that say, 3-minute hugs maximum. And this did upset a few people. I guess they really liked their hugging time, and so they were annoyed because they felt like this airport was telling them not to do the hugging they wanted to. But the airport came back and said, look, it's not like a hard and fast rule. It's just a suggestion to increase the traffic flow. And also, if you really want to have a long session, please use the parking area. It's free for 15 minutes, I think. So again, you can have a much longer goodbye moment, if you like, it just in a different place. So hopefully, maybe this was a kind of compromise. And maybe, hopefully, the people using this airport can get used to the new restrictions. So, yes.
I do have a question, though. Is there a 3-minute kiss limit? Because you could just forget the hugging. Just kiss for 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Then they can do nothing.
Hands behind back.
Yeah, hands back. Just touch lips for 5 minutes.
I wonder what will happen, yes. How many people will try to find a way around the rule?
Exactly. There's ways around the rules, everybody. Think creatively, okay?
I'm sure the New Zealanders will be very creative. Speaking of greetings, how do you and your family members, in your sort of family culture, how do you greet one another?
I was always under the impression that my family was not the most touchy family, right? And now, after going back there, I'm kind of wondering, I was not the touchy one. Maybe. But I've noticed with age comes a little bit more physical affection. I think people were like, in my family, were now a bit more apt to more easily hug than they might have been before. I think especially between the brothers, there wasn't much hugging, but now there seems to be a bit more, more affection, I would say.
Yeah, I noticed the same with my grandparents. When I was a kid, they were very kind of stiff and a bit standoffish, but then in their later lives, they were much more, affectionate and wanting that. So maybe we soften up a little as we get older.
Like a ripe apple starts to rot.
Squishy. Oh, we start to rot and squish. So, you and I, we're not fans of the long goodbye, as we've already said, but have you seen many long and passionate farewells, in your time?
Actually, I've been racking my brain. I don't think so. A lot of my experience with goodbyes actually comes was in America and also in Korea. And I don't think either of those countries are super big. I mean, every individual is different, but they're generally not super big on long, drawn-out farewells. Yeah. So I just don't think I've been in areas where I would have been able to see that. Maybe if I go to France or Spain or something, I might see something different. I've seen tearful goodbyes, but they didn't seem like it was like a long-term thing. It was more like, goodbye.
They wanted to get it over with.
Yeah.
Just got to rip the plaster off.
Exactly. That's the best way to do it anyway.
Yes.
Long goodbyes just make it awkward.
Yes. You're just prolonging the pain, in my opinion. Yes. Anyway, don't say goodbye to this English session just yet. It's time to check out the vocabulary section, embrace it, hug it close, hold it to your bosom, and hopefully it will stay locked in your heart forever. And then you can use it when you come back and see us next time. See you there.
Embrace.
Embrace.
Huggy.
Huggy.
Shy away.
Shy away.
Measure.
Measure.
Hotbed.
Hotbed.